Let's. Hey everybody, I'm Brandon from Zaid Comics, artist and co-creator on Magic Cop. That's live on Indiegogo right now, and I'm just one half of the two best-looking brothers in all of comics. And today we're doing another movie poster breakdown, where we take a dive into a movie poster and look at it from a graphic designer's standpoint. So let's see what we have today. So we're going to be looking at the movie poster for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Now there are a lot of movie posters for this particular movie. Undoubtedly they want to reach a lot of markets, but we go from your classic style poster such as this, and then you go to something more along the lines of like a character showcase poster, where we're just showing off like one character face or something. But these two posters I think are pretty good examples of a classic Star Wars poster that is in a line with the old styles, which I think those old ones are very classic. They are always used to show off excellent movie poster design, and so we're going to take a look at these and see how they hold up against the classic designs as well. So we're going to look at this one first here, and as you can see, it has a very, very old school design on here. We have the white border, which is very, very classic. It's used in a lot of the original Star Wars movie posters. This is very much of the era from like the 70s when the original Star Wars movies came out, and kind of creates a nice frame to showcase the action that's going on inside of here. It's got the nice white color to really create that border around and kind of hold all of that art inside of the frame, which is really cool. I like that they've done that on this poster, because you don't see that a lot in contemporary posters. We have very bright use of color. If you remember the old Star Wars movie posters, we have a lot of the blue and red. Here it's taken to the nth degree. We've brightened up everything so much. The blue is so bright and the red is so bright on here. Back then, if we're comparing it to like an older Star Wars poster, the red is the highlighting color with the blue, whereas here the red and the blue are almost equal, and we have so much of this red going on here on the right, and then we have the blue going on the left. They're almost balanced. It could be, if we're looking into some meta thought about what the movie would be, or what they're trying to represent here, maybe they're trying to go with more of an equal balance here, trying to showcase that on the poster, or it could just be a very flashy design that we're seeing, which is either way, it's very bright, it's very intriguing to the eye. It'll bring a lot of people in here, it's very pretty. We have a very high contrast area in here for our eyes to focus on, which is really nice, because you want to be able to bring the eye towards the center of the piece, especially when you have so many of these lines going on here. We have a lot of characters on this poster, a lot of characters, a lot of heads, showing off a lot of actors, and they've done that in the past with these Star Wars posters, of course, because you want to have character showcases and stuff. With these lines of sight, they're going off in so many different directions. You really need something that's going to bring it in towards the center. And these lightsabers here are doing a pretty good job of that. We have in graphic design, you want that triangular, linear motion going toward your focal piece on the of the poster. And so we kind of have a little bit of that going on here. We could read into this a little bit. We have a lot of focus going to here. We have this line going up like this, these guys going down like this. We have this character shooting her guns in this direction, and this almost follows this line as well, even though he's facing up in this direction. And but I could make the argument here, because looking at this poster and dissecting and examining a lot of it, you get a lot of leading in, and then you get captured in this color. And then if you're going to be led here, you kind of get captured in this center area. And so this color boundary that we were talking about earlier really kind of makes this unique, because you don't simply have, for example, this line and this line and this line. I would make the argument that you have this line to here, this line to here, here, but these lines are now leading up, which is very smart. I don't know if that's intentional, but it works really, really well, and it works because of this color boundary that's happening here. So your focal area is here in the center of the picture. And that's what I'm getting out of this, at least. I think that it's easy to kind of come down on this poster because of these weird lines and the very bright colors. But I think that if you look at it for a moment, I think you'll easily see what I'm talking about here, because it is almost as if these lines are converging in the center instead of leading you to the apex, which generally would be down here somewhere in this area. So I think this is good. They have a lot of bad posters for these Star Wars films, and I think it's because maybe they're using a few different promotional studios. I don't really know how Disney does it, but there's too many posters being produced, and so you're going to end up with some bad ones, and I think those are the ones that really show up in the media. This poster here, it has a little bit off balanceness. There's a lot going on down here, but at the same time, we kind of have to assume that there's more of this. And so this kind of has a heavy weight going on this side of the poster. And because it's not perfectly divided down the center, our center line is over here, we can get away with having a little bit more weight to the left than we do on the right. There's a lot more action going on over here. Even we have like this space stuff, but this explosion and these guys fighting down here and this big helmet in the background here adds weight to the right side of the poster, which fills in the entire poster and doesn't make it look off balance. Like last week's video, we were talking about the Harley Quinn or the Birds of Prey poster, which was horrifically off balance. If you look at this really quickly, maybe it would seem a little bit off balance, but I think that they did a good job covering that. I don't think that there's too much dead space on one side. This really, really is heavy. This guy's really heavy. So there's a good balance going on here in this poster. Just as a kind of fan service note, we have like the red blaster fire here, which is very, very reminiscent of the original posters. And we have the bright lightsabers and stuff coming off and creating these focal points and everything, which is really cool. So yeah, I like this poster. It's very, very classically designed, and it's kind of like, if you were going to go through and have all of the Star Wars movie posters right next to each other, this would fit in right with the original three, the original trilogy. This poster would fit in there really well. All right, and so this is a different style entirely. I think this is really cool. I'm pretty sure this is an official poster. I've seen it a lot of places online, and I think it's a really cool. And they've done a really different job, but they've done a really excellent job here, because this is very, very, very classic, super classic, but done in a contemporary way. Because we don't have like the bounding box around the outside. We have a lot of dead space up here, but it's filled in with this evil character. And then down here, once again, we have the contrast between this blue and then this red. Although on this poster, there's a lot more blue than there was on that first poster we took a look at. But it works pretty well. I kind of wish that some of this red was making it up into this top field a little bit more. I think that would be a lot better, because this kind of does set this piece off balance, because, you know, we're really looking at an entire field of blue, and then we have this little bit of red down here that's just entirely isolated into this small section. And there's not enough going on over here to balance off this red, and there's not enough happening up here that would balance off this red either. So this poster does have an inherent imbalance to it, but because it's so simple, you're not really looking to you know, guide anything, do too much work for the viewer. You know, it's really the lightness of color down here is what's guiding your eyes in towards the center. You know, we have a little bit going on with these lightsabers. We have a little bit going on with this bridge or whatever that is, and then the lightning. But, you know, up here, it's such a negative space, and this guy's meant to be hidden, which is very classic of like an evil character being in the background, just overshadowing the entire forward field here. I think that it works because it's so simple, and you know, it's pretty cool. We have the classic Star Wars title font down here, and then you know, just the date. Really, really simple. Back on the original one that we were looking at, you know, we have all this stuff down here, which is really nice because with the framing, we can put all this stuff down here outside of the artwork, so we could really leave the entire artwork field to speak for itself, which is really cool. That's why I really like these bordered posters like this, because you can do so much stuff like this with it. You know, you could even have made like this lights, or the blaster coming off of out of the frame there. You know, maybe this guy would be moved over a little bit and he'd be coming out of the boundaries. Those are pretty cool ways of doing that. But it's better that they didn't, because this is a very, very classic design, and it speaks of the old Star Wars posters, which is really cool. You know, fans really enjoy stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you guys going to go see this film? Or is there another poster that you guys much more prefer over these two? Because I would definitely like to see those. So let me know what you guys think. And as always, go to zadecomics.com and sign up for our newsletter if you guys want to learn more about our comic book Magic Cop that's coming out in March. And if you guys want to help me out with my art, you guys can go to patreon.com/ZadeNinja. All the links are in the description below. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.